Okay, so the next step in our processing of the GPS data is to correct the data. Data correction essentially allows us to remove atmospheric errors that might be present when we collect the data on our handheld GPS. The handheld GPS that we move around, we would call a rover. It is subject to atmospheric interferences and all sorts of other interferences which might cause our data not to be accurate. What differential correction does is brings the point back to where it should be by looking at a nearby location where a base station is located. In the Magic Valley, we have several really good base stations, all of which allow the data to be downloaded into the Pathfinder office, which can then be used to correct our existing data. So in order to do this, and we do have to do this to bring the data into the GIS system, we're going to again use the GPS Pathfinder office. So you should by now be able to find that on your desktop or in the All Programs. So we're going to open that up. We're going to use the defaults here, which should have been set in a previous video, by hitting OK. Now, what I like to do is go ahead and open up the data that I've already downloaded. And this is normally found in an SSF file. So I'm going to hit the open here. And I'm going to open up this task 2. Although it does not contain a lot of information, it will work just fine. So here we have 3 points. And what we want to do is move these to where they should be by using the correction. And the correction here is this kind of bullseye icon on the left-hand side. So you can also use utilities, differential correction. It's the exact same thing. So it'll get you to the same spot either way. Now once I have this open, you can see that if I've already opened this into Pathfinder Office, it will automatically populate the SSF file into the differential correction wizard. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. I'm going to use the automatic carrier and code processing, which is the default, so I will hit next. And then this is a place that I like to do a little change. Here it says that we're going to output only corrected positions. This can cause some problems, and we're not really working at a level of accuracy that requires all our positions to be corrected. So I'm going to change that right here, and I'm going to change it to corrected and uncorrected. It has some undesirable effects if we leave it as corrected only, and there are positions that we can't correct. I'm going to hit OK, and now you notice in the dialog it has changed. I'm going to hit next, and this is where I want to select my base provider. And this program uses the locations from the GPS to find nearby base stations. So I'm going to hit the select button here, and you can see I have several options. The one that I prefer to use is this one in Paul, and then I'm going to hit OK. So that's now populated here. I'm going to hit next. I need to select a reference position. So I'm going to use the position from the base station list. So I need to select this here, and I'm going to hit next. I'm going to go ahead and use the project folder, and I'm also going to create a unique file name based on the input file name. So I just use the defaults here. I'll hit the start button. It downloads the data from the base station, so you do have to have an internet connection. Then it goes through its iterations, and then it tells me that my accuracy is 2 to 5 meters for the points that I took, which is pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit close. And I can open up the now corrected file, the .cor file, and you notice it did actually change. Let me show you again. Here's the original data file. And here's the corrected file. So obviously one of those positions was not where it should have been. So that position is now corrected. That ends this tutorial, and you'll need the corrected file to bring the data into GIS and to do the export. So please watch that video next.